Good evening, welcome to the Torah Delights podcast and what's been a very, very hard week for Klal Yisrael. No words to describe it. There's no words to describe it. I hope in the schus of the Torah learning that we're going to do will be schus in the neshamas for all those people who passed away from this terrible machla. And for all those who are unwell with it, it should be a schus for them, it should be a refuah shlema for them. The podcast is a schus for my good friend, his father, for the schus of Binyamin ben Simcha. As usual, it's we're quoting for a meilich biederman and parsha, and this Parshas Vayikra. I'm not going to speak for too long, but I hope what I say will give a chizuk to those who are listening. And we should only know b'sus tovas, yishus nachamas, and we should only know of good things. Chodesh Nisan, which Chodesh, it's the first of the month. We count from, even though it's not Rosh Chodesh, it's not Rosh Hashanah, but we use Nisan. The Lashon of the Chaim brings down that Rosh is the head of all the months. It's called the chusim of being the head of the month. It's called Nisan. The name is Meramas to Nisim, the flies that the Eibshter did for the Yidden in Mitzrayim. And we should be Zeicha. We know the Swarm bring down that every Yontov was Zeicha to these Nisim to once again. And we should be Zeicha to see Nisim Geloyin. And just as this Machlas come, it should go quickly. I wanted to talk about a topical issue. Nishmata moed nafshasechem. It's not me. It's the meilich brings down shmiras haguf v'hanefesh. Dovot svasayim ach muta v'muta b'chovs shmir bris haguf. We know that there's a special mitzvah shematem is nafshasechem, and we know that this is the rotzen of Aboy Hashem shesivonu b'sarosa lizol lishoma, who's guarded us, who's advised us, warned us, L'hishome ma'oid al nashaseinu. L'hishome ma'oid al nashaseinu. That we should guard ourselves and our souls. And it's taken, it's in the ruchnis, in the gashmis way. The Be'er Goyla of Zelashon, this is the Lashon of the Be'er Goyla. He brings down the Shulchan Aruch Choshen Mishpat. What's the reason she'esira torah al shmis hanefesh? What's the reason? Okay, it's a nice thing. Everyone should be well. What's the reason Torah says shematim? Hashem says shematim sanzechem. Who mitam shakodesh baruch hu es boras ha'olam b'chastoi. Why? To tell us that Hashem created the world b'chastoi, in kindness, lehitiv. To do good to those who created. Shiyakiru geduloso. How can it do good? They will recognize His greatness. Or la'avad avedasa became its voice of. They'll recognize it, and they will. Shiyakiru geduloso, and they'll recognize the greatness of Hashem. Or la'avad avedasa, and do His avodah became its voice of Yisrael. We are the living embodiments of the Eibshter by doing His mitzvahs and doing His torah, and this reflects, or how we behave reflects on the greatness of Hashem. And we want to give schar tov to those who work. And someone who causes danger to himself, what does he say? He's like he's moyes. He disregards the Ratzon Hashem. The whole Ratzon Hashem is to do the mitzvahs and to show the greatness of Hashem through learning the Torah and the mitzvahs, and Him, but not doing shmis nafshasechem. The eina roitzer lo ba'avodosei. And it says it's like the implication is lo roitzer. He doesn't want to do the avodah of Hashem. Lo schar doesn't want the reward. There's no zilzul and apikosis more than this. By not doing it shows the contempt, the disrespect for the Ratzon of Hashem. I'm not going to, get political, whatever, but people know what they need to do. There's enough notices, and even people don't have internet access and to follow everything. There's phone lines set up in Manchester. There's enough ways for people to get information, and everyone should listen to all the advice. And we should, the Siyata D'Shmaya, we should be talking about drinking l'chaim together and not these sorts of matters. The next thing I want to talk about is a Zaman Garama. So he says that the Zaman Garama Mishnichnis Nissen Marbim Be'emunah. We just touched on it before. Mishnichnis Nissen, when we enter Nissen, Marbim Be'emunah, we increase our emunah. Eis Zaman L'Riboy Emunah. That's a time. L'Riboy Emunah. Zaman Garama L'Hois L'Schazeh Be'emunah. This time causes us to increase and hold on and strengthen our emunah in Hashem. Kamosh Omer, the Menachem Nochem Me'ba'an, Chernovitz, I think it's Chernovitz. It's first Menachem Rosh Chodesh Nisan Tafir Samachei Kishem She'omru Chazal. Just like Chazal say Mishnichnes Adam Arbin B'Simcha, they say Mishnichnes Adam Arbin B'Simcha. Kach Mishnichnes Nisan. It's also they say when we enter Nisan Marbim Be'emunah. We increase in emunah. Why? What's the reason? We were redeemed. Bezechus emunah. The Yidden had emunah in the Bonish Leilan. They went out in Mitzrayim, didn't know where they were going. That was the schus that taught them out. The schus emunah. But Nissen asidin loga, and in Nissen we're going to be redeemed in the future. Bezechus emunah, in the schus of emunah. Kamosh ne'ama kiyomet seitzchem eretz Mitzrayim arena floisov. Comes out that Nissen is mukhsha for gross Nissen, and kach kostav and tziv ve'emek adova ala pasuk hayom ata yotzim l'chodesh Aviv. It says in Shema Yud Gimel Dalet that hayom, today you're going to go out b'chodesh Aviv. So he says she'ein ata laharbos b'chodesh Nissen, she'ein tzorich laharbos b'chodesh Nissen. We don't need to work a lot on the Chodesh Nissen, with things that will increase their emunah. Ella, why? It's enough to do a little bit of preparation. Because it's the Chodesh, it's seeping with emunah. So we need to do a little bit, but not what we'd normally need to do for other months. And he says, why does the pasuk say Hayoyin ata yotzin Chodesh Aviv? Why the lashon Chodesh Aviv? Shekeshem shezman zeh mesugol lezriya harbe. What's Chodesh Aviv got to do? What's the reference to Chodesh Aviv? That just like shezman zeh, that this month is mesugol lezriya harbe yotzim v'shal chadoshim. It's already coming summer, and it's mesugol. It's more roy to plant things than other months. Kach gam emunah, also with emunah nilketes b'leiv yoyse. Emunah, just like the plants are taken in the ground and they flourish. Just like so, also emunah, which is put in a heart, b'yoyse ata is planted in a heart. B'yoyse ata b'yomim elu, more in these days. That's the connection. So it's easier to attain emunah, just like Chodesh Aviv, where it's easy to grow things. So to attain levels of emunah, not normally possible in other months, or harder to attain, is easier to attain in Chodesh Nisan. I'll say the last thing, and this is quite hard, and I include myself. So kava hevinu masha kosta b'sefer skulas Yisrael. We already brought, I'm not sure where he brought it, in Sefer Segulas Yisrael, Mareches Mem, and Magefa. Mitoich Sefer Kesav Yad, is through the Sefer Kesav Yad, Shel Rav Moreno Reb Chaim Vital, the Heidegger Reb Chaim Vital. And he says like this, Kol Zaman HaMagefa, anytime that there's a Magefa, Tarachi ma'oid mikol minikas. Person should try and separate him from all types of anger, v'daiga and worry, vitzvah and nervousness. V'adarabba tien sameach tomid b'chol minei simcha. He should try and be happy with all types of simcha. These things, these matters need a lot of chizuk. Sidrei hachaim mishiboshim, our daily lives is all turned upside down. And people are never normally at home and out at home, and not only home alone, but the home in kobanim mishpacha with all the rest of the family. And it's easy to come to anger and fighting, and it doesn't help the situation. Further, that all this parsha of what's going on in the world has happened in the days of Arvei Pesachim. It's 2 weeks mission to Pesach. He therefore needs to be very careful. All the whatever needs to be done should be done with simcha, v'chedva, happiness and joy. Not through anger and nervousness. He should think of the great schus that he's got to celebrate Pesach. To make a nachas ruach for the Eibishter, to get rid of the bad from his, to get rid of the chometz, the bad from his possession. And he brings Neirah Hova B'Shmei, the Heilige B'Ditchever, Leib Yitzchok B'Ditchen Ben Sora Sasha Zuchus Yugan Aleina. We say it as a chus. I think the Heilige Rishna said, just by saying the name of Reb Levi Yitzchok Ben Sora Sasha from the Heilige Shtok from B'Ditchev is as a chus for Klal Yisrael. And we bet sich the Eibishter, we bet sich all the tzaddikim, we bet sich the B'Ditchever, alle tzaddikim, handke tzaddikim, Friedrichsen, so game von Kisse covered, and daven for uns, and bet for uns, daven, we will sein geht, we want to be good. Please, Eibishter, help us. So the Heilige B'Ditchever says, Sh'ali day hechonas l'chag Pesach, he says a chiddush, that through getting ready for Chag Pesach, yesh biyad ha'odam, there is, if a person does it correctly, there is in every person's hand the ability to hasim adrega ruach hakodesh, to reach the level ruach hakodesh. Af midas hakas menos, but why doesn't he have it? Because midas hakas takes it away from him. So therefore, it's not an easy thing to do. No one's saying it's easy. Not everyone's on the madrega of the B'Ditchever. B'Ditchever was a big tzaddik, but we have to try our best, even if we can reduce our anger a little bit and do what we can. And he says, and he brings from the Kalina of Moshe V'Stolin, he brings in on the pasuk, it says Shmois Lamadali Design Elakei Mesecha, I think that's how you pronounce it, Lo Tzaseloch. You shouldn't make an image, a godly image. The Somach Lei Es Chag HaMatzos Tishma, says you should guard the matzos. Ki milsa de shchicha he. So what's the connection to making these idol, these molten images and keeping matzos and Chag HaMatzos Tishma, you should guard the matzos. Ki milsa shchicha he. It's something common. Shabon Lidei Kas Beis Achon HaChag. It's very easy to come to Kas and on Erev Yom Tov and Chag itself. Hara Omer Chazal, Kanakoyes Gilo with the Zara. Anyone who gets angry is like his avoid son with the Zara. Rechein his hiru haTorah. Therefore, the Torah warns. Shebiyomim Eili Yizoha Biyotze Shloi Lases Elekem Secha. So a person shouldn't do what's the Kemen Secha. I haven't pronounced it right. That's anger. A person should keep away from anger because anger is doimit lo desire. Ela ben chusa v'ragea take simcha shemitzvah. Take it easy, relax. Take simcha shemitzvah. You knock his base and mechol mashu chomas. If he does his best and he doesn't get every crumb, you don't need to get every crumb. You need to get as much as you can. The ones behind, the things you can't get, you don't need to. You can just spray. There are ways to do things. I'm not a rav, so I've asked to be a rav, your rabbinical authority. But we can do. I wish you all a lovely Shabbos and a peaceful Shabbos and Bila Barach Netza should be the end of all sad news. If you want me to be on Zoom, and that's the latest Mishagas, I sort of worked out to use it. I can be, but only if there's going to be enough people. Let me know. TorahDelightPodcast@gmail.com. If not, I'll continue doing it this way. Take care of yourself, and see you all next week. Or I'll be with you next week. Kol tov.